All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. However, and wherever you are joining us from, we are very excited you are here and we extend a warm welcome. My name is Samuel and I'm sitting in for our regular voice, Megan, who is equally on an important assignment tonight. Hopefully, she's back next week to resume her seat. But tonight, like my Niger friends will say, I am the Oga Kwata Kwata of the show tonight. So, what is the business or what is on the table tonight? Well, we are focusing on aligning all hubs on two critical components of the hackathon process. One, timelining, and two, team formation. The goal is to ensure every hub clearly understands the expectations, the methodology behind the workflow, and the next steps needed for successful participation. We'll begin with a quick set of updates and clarifications from the Prisma team. I see Tabs, Delphi, and Carlos are gearing up for that. And then we'll highlight hub progress on timelining and documentation. This may include presentations from hubs that have already completed these steps. And then finally, we'll walk through team formation process. Here, we emphasize how emerging learning and community engagement shape problem statements and project direction. So by the top of the hour, everyone should have a clearer sense of what's required, where they stand, and the immediate actions needed as we move into the next phase of the hackathon. But before all that, let's align on our traditions and our regular ecosystem updates. First, we'll remind ourselves why we do what we do, and of course, gather here every Thursday. And then Nana Safo is on standby to give us the latest in the ecosystem. This is the Weather Forum, and welcome everyone once again. Like I said, let's remind ourselves of the usual traditions, and this includes the reading of our statement of purpose. My colleague Edufwa is here to do justice to that. She will do that in English and in French. Edufwa, if you can hear me, kindly unmute and tell us why we gathered here tonight.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. Statement of purpose. Our mission: to elevate underrepresented groups through the application of technology and invest in a more equitable future. Et en français, notre mission: élever les groupes sous-représentés grâce à l'application de la technologie et investir dans un avenir plus équitable. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Next is my colleague Nana Safu, who has all the updates as far as our ecosystem is concerned. Nana Safu, take it over.
Yeah, thank you very much, Samuel, for giving me the opportunity. I see that the French folks are, sending laughing emojis. I don't know if Edufo actually did sort of see and read, or it was actually French, but I think we take it either ways. Yeah. So once again, it's another week, and I'm happy to be here to share with you ecosystem updates and coming straight from the camp of Catalyst, as we all know. Yes, this morning around 6 a.m. UTC, the FAN 15 proposal submission window closed. And what that means is that we are transitioning into community review and then further on to voting, and then announcement of winners and then onboarding from there on. So if you have not been keeping in touch, do well to visit the Catalyst knowledge base to have a read of the timeline, and then keep yourself up to date from that angle. Next slide, which will lead us into Intersect and what is happening over there. So if you are an Intersect member, as you know, last year we did this thing. We did an annual membership meeting, which we had some in-person meetings where people had a chance to have more like a feast, and also have wonderful networking. And this time around, we are doing it virtual. So it's a virtual hub thing that we are doing, and there's also going to be regional, events. So if you are in Africa, for instance, and you're looking for a hub to participate in, I believe DRC, Ghana, and Kenya was selected. So you can look out for these hubs. Or better still, if you want to participate on a global stage, just do well to visit, scan this QR code to visit the registration portal and then register for the global Interset annual membership meeting. It is happening on the 29th, which is this Saturday, and it is going to be a whole day event, so from morning to evening, and it is going to be awesome. Come join us. I believe service committee, we are going to have a room in room 1, we are going to share some wonderful updates from our camp. So please do well to join us and let's have a wonderful.
Okay, I think it's fine, to be honest, because when in those rooms we have a video playing. Technically, we shouldn't have.
Yeah, so that is it.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
People speaking, so it's
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Nana. I thought somebody was just talking.
Yeah, I'm in the virtual room right now, and they are testing things around. That's why you heard them. It's an
I
interesting
thought,
experience. I wish I could show you guys how it looks like though.
no problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
we are zooming straight to the business of the day.
definitely.
And like I said in my intro, we are focusing more attention on the timelining and team formation on the show tonight. Quickly, let me invite the Prisma team. I've seen Tabs, I've seen Delphi. I've not seen Carlos yet, but maybe he will join or he's joined already. Guys, give us some quick updates and clarifications we need to know, and then let's zoom into the help process on the timeline and documentation. Who is taking over? Types of Delphi. Who's ready? Yeah,
Hi,
I've seen Carlos. Carlos is there. Hi, Carlos.
yeah, Carlos is there.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And what the whole idea of this process is to know a little bit where you are at, accompany you to the next step of the process, and invite someone from the lead hubs to speak about experience. And I'm wondering, Tabs, and this is maybe we can speak to it. Should we do first sort of speaking from experience and then going into the nitty-gritty of how to develop that? Would you be able to facilitate that with Morgan? And
Sure
maybe
thing.
you can introduce him. For that, Sam, I don't know if we need the slides. Would you like the slides, Dubs?
No, we wouldn't need the slides. Actually, I think Morgan will be presenting with his own slides. So
Awesome.
I'll introduce him now. Thank you, Delphi. And in the meantime, if someone could make
Tabs, if you can
host,
speak a bit louder.
Sure. Thanks, Sam. So Morgan is coming from the Project Genius Hub in Zaria. And they actually joined a bit later on in the program, in the second round of hub registrations. And very quickly, they made progress getting stuck in and have been very engaged, reaching out, trying to learn as much as possible, trying to catch up, so to speak. But in actual fact, there's so many ways to move through this program that it's about how much they can find their own way. And yeah, we're really encouraged to see the progress that they've been making. So they're going to tell us a little bit about that journey so far. I was just on a call with them and 30 of their participants on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, and the energy was amazing. So they're really doing a great job of engaging their communities, and I hope that as we hear from how they've been approaching this, that there will be some kind of key takeaways for others as well. So please welcome onto the stage Morgan from Project Genius, and let's make sure that he's host so that he can share screen and share his slides. And yeah, Morgan, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction, Tabs. I'm Morgan, and I'm one of the co-leads from Project Genius Hub. And I'll be sharing with you guys today our progress so far, really just our journey. And when I saw the form at first, like I really didn't know how to approach it. So I said, okay, you know what, I'm just going to do this my way. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to get corrections from, the community. And I think that's just the best way to learn, really just throw myself into the fire and, let it refine me. So yeah, I'll be sharing my screen and I have slides, I think about 7 slides, and I'll explain what we've done so far. So, share screen. Okay, so share. And you all can see my screen, yeah?
Yes, it's still loading, I think. Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay, so this is my slides. Let's go slideshow. Yeah, really. Our journey so far, as Project Genius Hub. Okay, so as Tabs earlier mentioned, we joined pretty late, and at the time we were joining, I'll be lying to say if we had like an idea what we really were throwing ourselves into. We have organized some some physical innovation challenges amongst ourselves while back at the school. So, we thought, yeah, this is something we could organize our community and, throw ourselves into. So we just jumped straight into it and try to like figure our way as we joined the meetings, interacted with Cardano, Prisma, and WADA. For me personally, it was really my first interaction with Cardano at all. So a lot of things were new to me. And yeah, we had a very funny learning curve. So what we did when we started was we just got the community hyped up because we had people already who we've worked with I think over the past 2 years. And we created a group for it and we told them to hop in. And really we explained what we knew. And so for 2 weeks, what we did was we brought them in and then we explained a bit about the regenerative principles at the time, according to our understanding. And then we let them, we gave it tasks that they should go out into their community, find, have a sense of place and, all of those stuff and try to self-organize themselves into teams. Um, and we left them for about 2 weeks because ourselves were trying to understand and set up both documentation and timelining. And I think we figured out both on Sunday. So Sunday was when we finally set our timeline on Telegram, and then we understood how to play around with our documentation. I will show what we did with our documentation at the end of my presentation. So okay, how do I go to the next page? Okay. No, not here, and slideshow. Okay. Okay, yeah. So currently at the time we started, okay, we had about, again, I think currently we have about 261 participants in the group in our WhatsApp community. And leaving them for about 2 weeks, with telling them to self-organize and find sense of place. By the time we came back, we realized, okay, a couple of them were lost. But amazingly, some of them actually found their way. Some teams actually self-organized. Some people went out, came back in, shared their experience on the group, and asked for people who are interested, in, following them on their journey and creating a team with them. And what we came back to observe was it was beautiful in a way, although it was like a very small fraction of teams of people did that. And I think on Monday, what I did was then I think I chatted everybody up in the group. I saved all their contacts and I went directly into their DMs and I was like, okay, are you still interested in this? How far are you lost? Do you need guidance? What do you understand? Talk to me so I could explain. And from that I realized, yeah, some of them actually had some of them actually could self-organize into teams. and they were making some headway. They understood a bit about the processes, and I was like, that's good. On while others, some were lost completely. They had no idea what was going on, and then they needed direction. And then I explained to them. Some were still interested, some were not. You know how it goes. And I think the last group of people were the ones who they said they needed a team. So some of them said maybe they were busy with work. Um, some said they'd like to go on the journey from the beginning with some people, and then they don't know anyone in the group that should help. We as the organizers should help, create a team for them. And so I think that took us into another phase. We started trying to actively be a part of the team formation, actively try to link people up together based upon skills and interests. So and all of that was on, I think, on Monday, moving into Tuesday. And on Tuesday we got tabs to come in to really increase the morale of our participants. So they get to hear directly from the source. Because I spent my Monday trying to explain in my own words, and maybe my understanding is not so good of it. I don't know, but it's always best to hear from the source. So we encourage them to come in. They stay to the end. They really participated, and their energy really was high. And then we really appreciate Tabs coming in on Tuesday. Thank you so much, Tabs. And so from what I was saying earlier, so currently we have about not 19 really, we have about 20 teams, and out of the 20 teams, we only helped create 5. So 15 other teams actually all self-organized on their own. Some of them had they had some friends before coming in, so people with friends clustered together for some people in the group, they clustered around ideas, they shared their interest in the WhatsApp community, while some clustered around skills, but actively we only participated in team formation of about 5 teams. And so yeah, after creating the teams on Tuesday, we so after the meeting with Tabs on Tuesday, on Wednesday, we once again told them to go and have a sense of place they should go, understand really what what our community is trying to tell them. And again, I try to communicate with the teams, which is very, very stressful, I won't lie. I do not like chatting, but and then what I realized from interacting with the teams is some of them actually really understand the principle. They understand that they are supposed to go in and wait and really understand how it is. So at first, most of them had I call this predetermination. So they had like a predetermined hypothesis. Okay, I want to work on health, I want to work on waste, I want to work on something. And then what they did was, although they understood, I think they all understood the importance of community and stakeholder partnership in whatever they were building. But the predetermination made them have hypotheses. So they went out into their communities to validate their hypotheses. So they were having questions around, okay, something like, is the water around here good? How's the water quality? Some stuff like that, instead of letting the community speak on its own. And that was something I've been trying to, let them know that that's not really how it works. You're supposed to go into the community and let the community speak to you. And then from there, get insights that you draw hypotheses from, not coming with, your own pre-established hypothesis. Yeah, but and after explaining, some people said some things that made me really happy. WhatsApp. So I think I'll just explain. So someone was like, he's working in an office, and over the past few days, he has been trying to, notice things in his office. And then what he realized after staying a while to observe was that the issues he thought in his head he would have to solve really weren't the issues that, the office was, trying to tell him about. And then he explained it to his team on his team group. And I saw it and I was really impressed. And I was like, yes, this is exactly what you're supposed to do. I know we say local and community a lot, like go into your community, interact with locals. But really, your community could actually just mean right where you are. So just stop for a bit and just observe where you are. Go outside in the morning, observe how the people, walk around, the interactions between, people of different professions, how they all, how they're all interconnected really, and then let's tell you a story. You're going to find something. And yeah, so I was really happy. It means, I've not been wasting my time, chatting all those different teams up. So yeah, I said I was going to share that too. And okay, so the next part really was the next hard part, which I'm still currently facing some slight challenges, was to move them from WhatsApp to Telegram. So I tried explaining the timelining with the video, how they actually use the timelining with the bots on Telegram, and they should, go there and use it. But I think they had concerns on should I call it privacy concerns now. So a couple of the teams were asking like if they share it up openly on the community, wouldn't other teams steal their idea? At the end of the day, it's a competition, it's a contest, it's a challenge, and if they're going to put in the work, they want to put it in to win. And so that's the challenge. And really, I've been facing some yeah, it's really not been so easy migrating teams from WhatsApp to Telegram. Currently, we have about 37 participants on our Telegram, and unfortunately, none of them have started using the timelining. I hope that will change by next week's call, and I think yeah, that's where we are really. So ground potentializing, we're currently trying to. I think for now, some of the teams, not all, I wouldn't say all, some of the teams really understand what to do when they go out there. And I'm going to try to make that all by next week. None of the teams have started timelining, unfortunately. I think it's been quite a sprint from Monday till now, a whole lot of information to digest. And I think we'll give them some time and then, guide them gently into it. And we're hoping to, really encourage them to start enacting that, start building by December 1st. But December 1st was us working with the old deadline. Alfred got the mail and then he communicated to me today, really that there's been a shift in the deadline. But still, I think for now I'm still going to work with first. I think I like the pressure the deadline gives, and to really encourage the teammates to go into Telegram and start using the timelining and really understand the processes at least before December 1st. Yeah. So um I think that should be all my presentation. Yeah, that's the end. So thank you so much. That's the journey really for Project Genius. This is what we've done so far and how far we've come. Thank you.
Wow, thank you,
It's
Morgan.
amazing. It's amazing the fire and the energy Project Genius is bringing into this whole hackathon thing. They have who I think got onboarded at the latest, but they are really doing stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Morgan. I've spoken
So
to
much for having
Alfred a couple of times, but I'm seeing you for the first time. Hopefully we get connected and we can talk some more. Thank you. Tash, take over.
me. Okay.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that was a wonderful presentation, and Sam, you said it very well. They're bringing a lot of fire into this whole program. Because the presentation was such a great summary and hopefully something that many people can really relate to, we wanted to give 5 minutes for a quick Q&A, if that would be all right with you, Morgan. So if anyone would like to ask Morgan some questions, now would be a great time. Please feel free to unmute yourself. Maybe we can do in terms of raised hands.
Or they can put in the chat and they'll be happy to read that. Those who don't want to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Well, people think I have to say, Morgan, that I love that you brought the sense of sort of stopping a little bit and not rushing into getting into problem solving or problem statements right away. Because what I notice is that there's a lot of groups, a lot of teams, a lot of hubs that already have sort of thought an amazing sort of project. But if it's not weaved in what the community needs, it won't work. And that is actually sort of the beauty of it, right? Is that it really works. It's something that is valuable, and then it can sort of enable that community for something bigger. And that is actually as well what will attract external evaluators, what will attract other opportunities of funding, and so on and so forth. So thank you for that piece, because that's one of my favorite parts of the process, actually.
Yeah, thank you so much too. It's the storytelling part. I mean, I love stories. I love books. Yeah, I'm particular about that part too. It's what makes the project really have that human touch and not just, machines, right, line of code to your computer. It's the human part of it. So yeah, I feel it's really important.
Ahmed Tunde is asking in the chat, how can we access the video? I don't know which video exactly he's talking about. Ahmed, can you clarify? Does he refer to
Okay.
the video you were
Um,
sharing,
can you hear me?
Morgan?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think he's referring to the video I shared on timelining. I shared it to the Telegram group and I shared it to all the teams group. So you could just check his team group and then he would see the video there. I sent it yesterday. It's
And to
yesterday.
make it easier, if you have the link to that video, maybe share in the chats and you can take it from there. How about that?
No, I didn't upload it. What I did was I just recorded it and I sent the actual file to all the groups.
Okay.
I didn't upload it. So I think maybe I'll do that. I'll upload it on cloud and I think I'll set the link to my community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What we can do is you could upload it to the docs for your hub, and then in that way, as
Oh.
people sort of go to visit it, if they want to learn from it, then we can actually have visibility of how much your doc site is being read. So in a way, that's an indication of what your hub is contributing into the program.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Indu Indubo Grania. Sorry if I'm struggling to mention your name, but he is a bit lost. He wants to know whether individuals can participate without being in a hub. I think we have said this a couple of times. Maybe it's his first time joining. Perhaps just 1 minute to address that.
Sure. Yeah. So we've had this question a lot. Where we're at now is one of our mentors who we've invited for this program has volunteered to prepare some material to support exactly those kinds of participants, those who want to join but they don't have a hub nearby. So we'll be sharing some material, some resources about that shortly. Please stay tuned in the Telegram group, and I'll share a link to that now because I can expect that question.
Can I maybe bring a question about process and adaptation that I think it would be interesting to hear if no one has any other question that is sort of more important?
Yeah, we can go on.
Okay, Morgan, so what I was thinking about the way that you've sort of deliver this presentation was I am quite amazed about the way, because we have been having a lot of conversations with hub leads, with participants about sort of adaptation of the tooling that we are proposing and the challenges that come up with sort of engaging with a tool that you haven't engaged before. Like at the end, you said, well, we had to migrate from WhatsApp to Telegram, and this wasn't easy because people are very much used to WhatsApp than Telegram. But the Telegram aspect gives you this advantage of the bot and doing and processing all the information. So I would like to know a little bit of the challenges that you went through in sort of adapting all these toolings. And the moment that you started to see how adapting this tooling made sense for you, your participants, for the hub, if you can, of course.
A great question.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. process. Okay, so yeah, um, like I earlier mentioned, so for 2 weeks, we struggled a lot with documentation and timelining, and we were we're kind of new to a lot of stuff, walking into it, but I think what we tried to do was we first tried to understand the purpose of it, the why. Why do we have to set up the documentation? Why do we have to set up the timelining? And then the why really, informed us a lot and kind of like, drove us. The documentation, I believe everybody here should know the importance of documentation or have an idea of it. So we understood the documentation, but the documentation process was it was hard to set up. We couldn't do it on our own. Like I and Alfred spent time on it, and then we understood the why. We explained the why to Kamal, and then Kamal is the most technical of us the co-leads working together on it. So he was the one who worked on our documentation. For the timelining really is a beautiful tool. I personally love the timelining on Telegram. I'm not so used to Telegram myself. I believe before, I don't think I've ever chatted anyone really on Telegram. Yeah, so before Cat, um, what I use my Telegram to do is to download anime. Yeah, I do not chat on Telegram. So it was kind of like new having to go into Telegram. But then the bot is so beautiful in the sense that it it lets you actually, tell your story in a what's the word? What's escaping me? A structured manner. So, it's like, it's a journey, and then with the bot, it's structures the group in a way that, you could legit see how the process they walk through that each teams are going to be taking before even building anything. And so yeah, I was really pumped up about the timelining, and yeah, it's still a hassle explaining and trying to get other people, really as interested as I am, especially because of the privacy concern and that teams have. And I've not really been able to have an answer like the one that I know, okay, I'm personally convinced that, okay, maybe I'm saying the right thing to the teams. I've encouraged peer collaboration, but I don't know how to answer to the question that, okay, it's a challenge, and we are
No,
trying to keep what we are working on, and all of those
yeah,
things.
maybe when did it make sense? Like, when did you feel, oh, if we do it in this way, it really makes sense? Like, because we are going through this learning process that will allow us to get this precise product that speaks to our community. Was there a moment, or was it a process, or how did you experience that?
Okay. Um, I'm coming, please. Can give me a minute. Let me attend to, and I need to open the door for Alfred. So just a minute, I'm coming.
Oh, yeah, go on, so yeah, no worries. Okay, so just 1 minute. Maybe one of the things that I want to highlight in Morgan's process is that they learned through doing. They didn't stop, or they weren't afraid of trying things. And of course, there's a lot of questions along the way that we need to answer ourselves, but it's a process. There's no wrong or right on how to do things. This is the beauty of it. Morgan, go on.
Uh, okay, so if I want to understand. So the question really is at what particular moment we understood what we're doing. Um, I think we read the documentation, and yeah, we're pretty confused, and we had some back and forth. Alfred, myself, and some other people in my team, and then we all read it and we're like, no, it means this, it means that. So we argued a lot about the principles, the steps, and then I think Alfred was like, why are we even arguing? We could just, reach out to the organizers and set a meeting. And I think he had a meeting with Tabs on documentation. The time we asked the questions, we're trying to understand the why, and a lot of it at the time really wasn't adding up in the way we wanted to really understand what was going on. So Alfred reached out to tabs, I think, and then he had a call, and then that call was like, the I think the point where we really understood, yeah, this call, we really understood, okay, this is what is going on, this is what we're supposed to do, this is how to use the documentation. I think I clarified the documentation a lot. And immediately documentation was clear, timelining just became beautiful because timelining is just a tool to achieve really the documentation. It's the structured way to tell your story, and then how to tell the story, the principles, really everything is in the documentation. And Tabs really explained that. And yeah, I was there when the call was going on, and I think that was the point where we really okay. There was this shift really in our understanding.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Morgan. Is there any other question? I saw there was a hand up, but it did sort of disappear. Is there any other question for Morgan right now? If not, we're going to go to sort of the step by step of this second bit of once the have been on board, hubs and participants have been on board on the docs and the timelining and have walked their communities and have used the participants have used the timelining, we get into the second bit of the hackathon, which is a really important part of the sort of team building and emergent learning process that we want to speak of today, because we had a lot of questions from hub leads about this. So before we go there, is there any other question that is sort of coming up for you?
Delphi, I'm not sure, and maybe questions might come later, but we have
Okay,
18 minutes
good.
to go to the next session.
Good. So is it Richmond who is sharing?
Yeah, can we bring back the screen, Richmond?
Yes. Can you put slide 6 for me, Richmond? The previous to this one, sorry. This one. So step 2, as I said before, once you get your hub and participants on board on docs and on board on timelining, and you have your participants walking your communities and registering, like sending the voice messages and the data that they are finding in their local communities to the timelining, we get to the second part of this process. And the second part of this process is like a coin. It has 2 phases. The first phase is that there is a bit of it which is a process of learning that is collective learning that will be written in the docs. So each team will show its own learning process from the moment that they have the information and the data of their communities to the moment that they get the themes and the problem statements that they are going to develop as projects. Okay. And this whole process is sort of a visible process for everyone to see. And in this case, don't worry about what was that, Morgan? What was the word that Morgan said? Sort of the interesting bit about this whole process is that anyone can see why you chose what you chose, how you process the information, what principles of regeneration are weaved into your thinking and your process as a collective team. And this is really important for other people to see, for external evaluators, for the finalists of the CAT Summit, and so on. So the second bit of the other face of the coin is the timelining itself in groups, where you have channels, and these channels will serve to deliver the information of each one of these channels that are really important and build on each other to get to those problem statements that you're going to be facing, to get into the projects that you're going to be developing and integrating Cardano in the third phase. And why is this very important? Because one of the aspects that I've encountered so far is that people already have an idea of what they want to do. I love what Morgan brought is like a and I don't know if I can pronounce it well, predetermined hypothesis.
Predetermined.
Thank you. Yeah. So if you already have a hypothesis of what you want to do, you're going to lose a little bit about the information that is relevant and is appearing in the moment that you're walking your community. That's why if you do have an amazing idea, and I've heard a few projects that are quite amazing, my suggestion is go back, go to see what are really the information you're looking into your community and see what that information tells you, because it might nurture your own project or even it might change it a little bit, and that will make the sort of the adjustment that we need in order for that project to be successful. So coming back again, we have these two coins of with these two faces of the same coin. I want to speak about the steps. The first step is get together with your hub lead and all other participants. Step 2, find people that have walked your local community. So try to get into teams that have walked the same community. Like Tabs and I, Tabs lives in Barcelona, I live in Buenos Aires. It's difficult to have the same issues, but let's say I invite him to Buenos Aires. And I say, let's walk a little bit around Buenos Aires and let's see what challenges are having in Buenos Aires. We have flooding, we have heat waves, we have all of those things. And we start to develop all these kind of challenges and informations and speak to neighbors and everything else. And then we share the information. What have we found together, right? And we start to work on the mergent table canvas that I'm going to show in just a second, because that can be in a paper, like we can write it down, or it can be in a Miro board, or it can be in any technology that allows you to register all that information. But the most important aspect of it is that you're going to be developing the docs of your own team, the process of your own canvas within your team, and you're going to be showing it to others so that they can see your own project and the thinking unfolding from it. Step 4, connect timelining, create a group, start sharing collectively. And this step, Carlos will speak a little bit about it in a few seconds so that you know what that means. And then you have step 5, which is register everything that you have learned in your docs. So with all that information that has appeared, you're going to write it down. You're going to show it, you're going to publish it so that we can see it, so that WADA can see it, so that external evaluators can see it, and we can make a really amazing movement about every project, every problem statement that is happening. Okay. Carlos, before I get to step 4, can I show the canvas and then come back to step 4?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. This is the canvas that we have. And I know that Tabs has told me that canvas might be used differently, but what we mean right now is it has a sort of a moving question, which is what will it take to enable the potential of San Isidro, for example? What will it take to enable the potential of Buenos Aires? What will it take to enable the potential of my local community? And then you have ground truth, insights, hypotheses, and opportunities. Ground truth is all the information that we gather as a team of this neighborhood, of this local community. Insights are all the things, the aspects that allow me to see this community differently, all the aspects that call my attention and can be used as potential aspects that I want to play with. Step 3, hypothesis. I am starting to connect these ideas. I'm connecting these ideas to see what happens when I connect to them. For example, youth that are really prepared, but it's very difficult for them to have their first job. And waste management. Is there a way that I can connect those two things? And then opportunities, which are the problem statements, are those ideas that you want to develop further and you want to see into them. And as if they can be systemic enough, that would be amazing, because that means you're going to bring in a lot of stakeholders of your community to participate in your idea. So that's a little bit of the whole process. Can we go back to the slide before, Richmond? Good. So remember, we need to register all of that in the docs, and we also need to register this into Prisma. Carlos, do you want to talk a little bit about the setup, the timelining setup?
Yeah, for sure. So, as you know, most of the hub leads have the Telegram group with topics, and most of the information go there. However, per team, this can also be done, and the way to do it is create for your team your own Telegram group. You have to enable this part that says topics. Topics allow you to create like channels with all the emergent learning titles that Delphi mentioned. And also ask your hub leader to provide you the handle of the Telegram bot. Invite him into your Telegram group, give him administrator access, and he will be able to start recording all this information. And since the bot is recording in a completely different group for the team, it will be easy to classify from where the information is coming from. So team A, these are their emerging learning data. Team B, this is their emerging learning data. So basically, to say the steps again, create a Telegram group, enable topics, invite the Telegram bot with administrator access, and then create the topics for each of the emergent learning uh, titles. And I'll type here in the chat that each title should have underscore bot before. So for example, underscore insights, underscore ground truths, underscore opportunities, and so on and so on. And the bot will be able to start picking up the information. So basically at the end, start sharing collectively. Yeah, that's my quick overview. I think the video that Morgan did will be a lot more helpful. Any questions or back to you, Delphi?
Thank you, Carlos. So is there any question about this second part so far that we could address in this 8 minutes that we have? Oliver. Olivier.
Yeah,
I love your
yeah,
name,
great.
Olivier, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So my question is about the Telegram group. So I don't know what about this let's say major learning. So I didn't understand where examples. So for example,
Okay,
yeah, example.
so do you need an example? I think if we can use Morgan's video, I think it's going to be very clear. But maybe Carlos, can you make an example? Like, or can you?
Okay, well, maybe I can share my screen and show
Yeah.
you my the Telegram group I just created.
Yeah, I think that would be very useful. So they have sort of a.
Let me look for it here. Okay. Share screen. Can you see? Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a Telegram group that I created. And here I added let's see. And here I added the Prisma bot. As you can see here, this is my bot that was already created. Your hub should have one. So ask the hub lead to give you the handle so that you can add it. And so I added the Telegram bot as an admin. You can see over here that it says below my name, I'm the owner, and the Prisma bot is an admin. And then you will create these 4 topics. Like you need to enable the topics in your channel. so that you can create them, and you will create these 4 ones that are both insights, both ground truths, both opportunities, and both hypotheses. And any text or voice message will be recorded there by the bot. You see that he reacts instantly. That means that the data was saved in the database, and at the same time it will say that this message comes from the group second timeline. I call it like that, but it's simply a test name. So that way you can see that everyone can start recording their walks, their hypotheses, and so on. So hopefully this is a little bit more visual to understand the process. Also works with voice messages, as you can see here. Okay, I'll stop sharing now.
Thank you, Carlos. I think that was really interesting. Any question? We have 4 minutes. Any question that is coming up? I've met a lot of Hub leads this week and the last, and hopefully they
Okay.
have many questions as well. Olivier, what is your question?
Yeah, okay, thank you. So my question is about, I don't know if you arrive at the docs subject or you arrived there, but yeah, lastly, I've seen an email sent to our team leader talking that, yeah, they mentioned some hubs which have already set up the docs, Prisma, things like this, but I didn't see our team. Yeah, indeed, we've created it, and our teams are just putting the informations in docs. We are using Vessel, everything is working, but I don't know how can we do in order to allow you as Prisma to maybe to follow up all our informations or what our teams are doing regularly. Thank you.
Tabs has the perfect answer for this.
I don't know what Delphi thinks I'm gonna say, but we're gonna officially collect links for those apps like the docs in the coming days, and then what we'd like to do is attach those to the globe so that people can see that work, not only Prisma, but also the evaluators. And so in this interface, they will come here and you'll see a card for each hub, and then you'll be able to click here and click on the docs and start browsing their work like that. When you click here, see story, it says coming soon, because that's still on the way. That's kind of like the end of this whole publishing process, is that you'll then cherry pick the best parts of the data, the best perspectives, and curate it into one whole story. To give you an example of what some of the things you can do with the timelining and all the data, for example, there's this from Accra where we had the several contributions from all of the participants. This was with the same timelining system, and they were recording all of their reflections. And then at the end of it, we can ask all of the data, anything we like. And so I'm just giving a very quick idea of how you can get creative, but yeah, we'll collect the links for all of your docs shortly.
Okay, please. Is that mean that we haven't any action to do? We can just still working in docs with our teams, and we'll be even
yeah.
Great, thank
Yeah,
you.
just keep writing, and then we'll send you a form to send the link to us.
Yes, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's going to look so wonderful afterwards to get inside there and see everyone that is working on around Africa. That sounds very powerful. Okay, so do we have any other question, or it's time to close? So Sam, I'm going to give you back the torch and you can close as you wish.
Yes, definitely. It looks like there are no more hands raised and there are no more questions in the chat. There was one thing somebody brought up that Tabs tried to answer in the chat, but maybe a formal response here would do that two teams can come up with the same problem. It sounds funny to me. And what happens? Because they are in the same community and it's possible the same problems
Yeah.
are hampering the
And
community.
yeah. So I think I like Tab's response, which is it doesn't need to have the same solution. The project doesn't need to be the same.
All right.
So there is a distilling of that theme that may allow you to think further. And even knowing that someone is sharing the same challenge as you can ask yourself, is there something else that I'm not seeing that I can add into this this challenge, this problem that the community is having? Is there another way of integrating this that would make much more sense? But Tabs, you're gonna show something.
Yeah, no, I really like what Delphi has said. And just to build on that, it comes back for me, I feel like this image is really helpful here. To remind ourselves that we're all nested, we're all part of these larger systems. And the work of seeing systems is one of seeing them from multiple perspectives, especially when we're working on complex systems. And so you might find that those teams, although on the surface level, it looks like they're working on the same problem, and that raises kind of some concerns. Really, through the course of the process, you might realize that they're actually seeing things, sort of slightly different things, or maybe how they want to approach working on that is slightly different. Maybe they find that actually they're working on two slightly different services that complement each other very well because they're working on a similar kind of challenge. And so, yeah, it's all about being systemic and recognizing that we're all part of these larger systems.
I think that question triggered more questions. So we have two hands raised. Abdul, my friend from Lagos. Abdul, what's up?
Thank you, Sami. And thank you, Taz. Not actually a question, but a kind of an additional thoughts to that. And I want to share exact similar experience that we have in our house. Like I shared with Delphina yesterday, that in our local area, what we have discovered to be most interesting problem is youth unemployment. Yeah, as more important issues that is a lot of problem in Nigeria, because tracing that to a lot of issues that is happening in Nigeria, insecurity, a lot of stuff like that. So we concluded that eventually, if you have something to do, as somebody or as a youth, you will be actually invited to do a lot of unnecessary things. So we believe a kind of an idle hands, we call it a devil workshop. Yeah. So we want to solve problems around improving the social culture of employment. So in that regard, we have teams building solutions in different ways to solve this particular identified general problem. So that is why I said we can have a common problem, but we solve it differently. So I want to say that so that it could be probably advantageous to teams that are having that kind of situations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Abdul, for your feedback or contribution. Muhammad Musa, your hand is raised. Kindly unmute and tell us what you have.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So my own also is not a question, so it's just a kind of bit of something to talk on the issue of having same problem. So we can have same problem with someone, but what I could say here is we are having different location, or let's say, for example, even if we have same location with someone, the solution may vary. It's just like having a social media whereby we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have the any social media platform, but each and every one of them solve a specific problem. So this is my own say. Having for me, having same topic won't be something to, let's say, to look at it at the other side, but it's also a solution that is providing, because we have more than thousands of problems, let me say millions of problems, but we also have millions of solutions to it. So, and also the issue of unemployment, I can say that whatsoever here we are trying to solve here, we are trying to provide and let me say a job to some people, because whatsoever you do here is you are fighting unemployment. Whether you are doing security issue or whatever issue that you are going to do, we are fighting about the unemployment that we have, most especially here in the northern Nigeria. I'm from Kaduna State. I don't know what's happening in South, but we here in northern Nigeria, we have lots number of unemployment. Thank you for having your time.
Thank you very much, Mohammed Musa. I'm not sure there is any more call, and we have also done 6 minutes after the top of the hour. Something I want to ask staffs. It seems you had a beautiful time with the Zaria Hub. They keep sharing in the chats. Other hubs have the same benefit if they invite you anytime are you available, stuff like that.
No, that was a one-time thing.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. That's why we put our scheduling links on the docs. So this is helpful because I actually wanted to speak to this for all of the hubs. So the way that they did that is, first of all, they reached out, and then I said, hey, yeah, schedule a call. So they came and they scheduled a call with me. But this little interface here of people's profiles and the scheduling links, it's to encourage us to all work together and all coordinate and really create this multi-level summit together. I mean, who's asking themselves what's beyond the summit? You know, what's the summit a part of? We're all active participants in making that happen. I just got off a call with Mercy today, and we're saying, you know, like, we really hope that we can bring this back again next year. We're all a part of making that happen. And so as Morgan has been presenting and shared how they've been able to make some really serious steps forward, one way to try and make the most of that might be to reach out to Morgan directly and say, hey, send me that video, broski. But even better would be to have that conversation in the open and actually make visible the learning that you're generating from your questions to Morgan, so that others can learn from that. And in that way, keep sending it around and circulating, and we grow together as a whole system.
Thank you very much, Tabs. I think it's time now to bring the curtain to an end. What can I say? Thank you all for your time, your energy, and your contributions. I think this session has given us the clarity we need as we continue shaping a strong, organized, and impactful CAT hackathon experience. We have also aligned on expectations for timelining, documentation, and team formation. And now it's up to each of you, the hubs out there, to take the next actionable steps. A big thank you to the Prisma team for the updates, and to Morgan and the Project Genius team who presented, and all those guys who asked questions and supported the discussion. Let's keep the momentum, stay connected, and ensure we deliver an inspiring and successful hackathon across all hubs. With that, I wish you a productive week ahead. See you again next Thursday, same time, same energy. This has been the Weather Forum. Thank you, and have a good night, wherever you are. Bye.
Thank you.